In a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's I don't think it's...
Is it like a short episode? Is it like a bonus thing?
I think that we could also like tell them it's coming too. Like we've partnered with somebody and we're gonna do it.
Yeah, kind of like look out for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can mention that today if we want. Do we want to give like general timeline? Not hard dates, but like
in a couple weeks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when it releases, it'll probably be getting closer to actually announcing it, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got that one, and we got the discussion topic. Okay, cool.
Yay, let's do it.
All right, let me pull up GarageBand. I did not pull it up yet.
Oh, wow. Way to go, Ryan. Way to go.
Test, blah, blah, blah.
While you're doing that, what is 60 times 4? It's 240, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to guess how much money I made today?
Just today?
Just today.
$200. Oh, you're talking about from throwing at Production Pottery, not selling your stuff. Oh, okay. $350. More, less, hot, cold, anything?
It's more.
$500.
$424.
Nice. Is that because you're throwing bigger things, or?
No, no, we dropped Terry, so we're like, we can make money now. I just think it's funny that.
Oh, you mean like the time you had to spend doing some of those other things that just didn't make you as much money?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that Isaac always, without fail, texts me right when we start.
Does he like know that's the typical timing of things, or what? And is it like useful information? Or is it just
he wants to know.
Thoughts?
Oh my God! Stop fucking texting me.
Don't you hate that when you get so many messages about like 8 different questions all at once, and you're like, this is not a typical flow of conversation here.
He says, "What's up?" I'm answering. Would these look good with an eye? Oh yeah. I think they should look with a white liner. I think they should be a white liner. Yeah. Yes, on the white liner. I think they will look real good. Now stop bugging me.
Real nice, Clark.
I love Isaac to death. He bugs me to death also. I'm kidding, he doesn't. Okay, when do you want to start?
25 seconds. 25? Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? Hi.
Hola. Had to mix it up. I was like, we're just going to hold the silence and just moment of silence. Hi.
Hi. How are you, Ryan?
Good. We're live.
We're live. Oof.
I feel like has your hair been that pink that long? Or is that a recent establishment?
So you saw it purple to pink, right?
I don't remember. I mean, I can tell it's like all the way up to your roots, so maybe it's just the
Yeah. So
light
what
too.
happened?
Maybe you're in shadow normally or something.
No. It's a lot brighter. What happened was this. I dyed it like a dark red. So it was really red with black, but it turned purple. And then to like a pink then orange. And then the pink faded into the orange, whatever. Knew that was going to happen. But what happened, the problem was that the dye that I used on my roots, like the dark colors, was black and red. And it was like the Fox one. I don't know. It was a different brand than I normally use.
Mm-hmm.
And the brand that I normally use is Lime Crime. And I use that on the pinks all the way down. And the roots completely washed out in like 3 washes. And so I had to redo my whole hair with the Lime Crime.
Why? So
that
I know nothing about coloring hair. Why would the roots wash out? Because it's a different brand that you were doing to redo
yeah, it
your
was
roots?
it was just a different brand, and it just didn't hold as well. It was like a normal brand too. I think that Lime Crime is just a lot better, maybe. I don't know.
Is there something you have to do to your hair beforehand to like have it adhere better?
You have to bleach your hair.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I did, and it looked terrible.
Is that just because you're
I
getting
did
it
not
as
look
light
great
as
with bleached hair.
possible so that the color can
Yes.
like grab
Yeah.
hold better? I don't know the math, the science behind that, but
Yeah, Rachel just dyed her hair pink.
she did. It is not that bright a
Yeah.
pink, but it is pink.
It is
Pinkish
pink, and she
purplish.
bleached
Yeah.
it. I'm sure she bleached it just a
Yeah.
little bit.
I don't know. I know she was telling me how
Yep.
long it was taking, and I was like, she's like, I got my appointment at like 9:30, and I should be done by like, I don't know, 2:33. I was like, what? It takes that
It
long?
takes a long
I
time.
was like,
It
oh
takes
my
a long time.
gosh. I was
Yeah.
like, no wonder it's so
And
expensive. It's
she
like
didn't.
most of somebody's day. Like that's like you're paying a
I
whole
know. I was
whole
gonna say
day.
she didn't tell you how much it was, did she?
No, she did. I asked her afterwards,
Yeah.
but I wasn't
Ooh.
surprised, honestly.
Wait, how much was it?
I mean, with tip, it was like $300.
That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. That's why I never go anywhere to do mine.
I was like, I mean, I understand why Becca does it herself, probably because you've done it enough times that.
Yeah,
Like,
and I had a friend. I usually don't do I don't do the bleaching on my own. I will never bleach my own hair. I'm not going to say never, but I would prefer not to bleach my own hair. So I had a friend bleach my hair.
is that just so you have the right
And
dilution amount? When you talk about
yeah,
bleaching, you're putting a percentage of bleach in with what, water? And you're just soaking it?
I don't even know, but it's like a chemical, and it can fucking fry your hair. Like
Okay.
we left it on the bottom of my hair way too long, and so it kind of like fucked it up, and it's all dry and shit. But I've regained its
And you can't do it
growth.
yourself because of the timing it takes to get it fully on all of your head, and then the time it takes to like soak or whatever, and then to remove it. It's like very
Yeah,
time sensitive, I'm guessing.
yeah, and you have to do like at different stages. Like the roots will bleach a lot faster than the main hair, and then but like if you already have bleached hair, you have to put that on less because it's gonna fuck
Okay.
like it's like a process, and like you can completely fry your hair off if you do it wrong. And so I'm like, the way that I see bleaching your hair is the same way I see electrical work in a home. Like, don't do it.
Don't do it
um
yourself.
yeah, don't do it yourself unless you actually know what you're doing, but
I
you can't
mean,
see the back of your head.
imagine how
So
agile you can
like,
be with something that's attached to your body, that's on your head. Like, you can't really be that
yeah.
mobile around your head when it's
Yeah,
like
and
sensitive kind of things.
so I've always hired that out. Like I paid my friend $100 to bleach my head. Like it's not like I'm doing it, you know. But I would rather pay her $100
And they
than,
know what they're
you
doing.
know.
They've done it before.
Yeah, she still fried my hair, but it's fine. Like it's fine. Like I have really long hair and I can cut it off, like cut it
And
at any point.
by fry your hair, what do you mean by that? Does that just make it really
Like
thin and fragile?
yeah, when I so it's much, much, much better now because I've done a lot of like conditioning treatments on it. But when when she bleached it the first time, I took like a piece of hair and it just like stretched. It just like
stretched?
Yeah, it was like so thin that it just like stretched. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
yeah, it was gross. It's gross, honestly. It's really gross. And it just like stretches. It doesn't snap. Like healthy hair snaps. Like just,
what is
you know,
what is that doing to the hair? Like
I don't know, but now it'll
it
snap off. It's still very
snaps.
thin. It's
Yeah.
still
Okay.
very, very thin. But yeah, I need to cut it though. It's like ugh. It's a bit.
I'm sure it does feel a little different. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, how are you? What
That's
how are
new.
we were just talking about bleach
I'm
and
trying to
all the things.
understanding hair treatments and stuff.
It's just all color theory. I like the color part. That's easy.
Oh yeah, of course. I figured
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise why would you go through all that process?
Yeah. Now that Rachel has her hair bleached, I can color it for her. So
Yeah, that's what she was saying. She was like,
yeah.
Becca's not gonna bleach my hair, but I'll let her color it if she
Yeah,
is
I'm
up
not
for that.
fucking bleaching it. No, thank you. And the dye is only $15. Okay, now we can go. Now we can
Okay,
move.
so I guess the one of the news things, I guess we went on a small like vacation trip to Florida over the
Yeah.
weekend. Um,
How was that?
about a week ago, we went to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. It was good. It kind of sparked. We were like, Rachel was putting in she was kind of talking about the transition from the different job when she was kind of putting in her notice. And then
Yeah.
kind of transitioning into the new work, and then also it's still winter ish transitioning and back and forth to feeling like spring and then back and forth. So I was like, let's go somewhere that's like warm that we can enjoy the winter a little bit.
Yeah.
With some sunshine and whatnot. And I've been to Fort Lauderdale a number of times, probably like 20 times before, because that's
Oh,
where I
wow.
went for work all the time.
Oh, okay.
Over the last 8 years or whatever,
Yeah.
minus the last two. Um, so yeah, that's where we went.
Because now it's in North Carolina.
Well, yeah, if I go on site, I mean, there's still offices in Florida. It's just the people that I would go see are more
I see.
likely in Raleigh, North Carolina,
Okay.
than Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Um, but yeah, so I mean, we knew some stuff around Florida and took Allegiant with her friend's buddy passes. So, Rachel isn't working anymore, so she can't use the benefits, but we got the buddy passes from a friend. So it was,
Yeah.
more reasonable price wise. And then, rental cars weren't really that bad, honestly. So we
Oh,
got
that's
rental
good.
car to get around and saw some stuff in Fort Lauderdale and then went down to Miami one day. There are just some places I don't, nothing about the traffic and stuff, but just like the density of people that are there is like so overwhelming. It's like
Yeah.
it's like everywhere you like even turning left. Like imagine just here you just go into the middle lane and you turn left across 2 or 3 lanes of traffic. Like you can't really do that here unless you're at a light or you got to go to an intersection and do a U-turn, come back and then turn right into wherever you were trying to go into. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's like how Chicago is. Like going to Chicago is like the most infuriatingly annoying situation traffic wise. It's just
I'm
like
like, what the
there's
hell? Yeah.
so many people.
Yeah, it's like I've got to go. So we were in Miami and whatnot. That took forever, but getting down to Miami from Fort Lauderdale took forever. So we went to a lunch place that was, 30
Mhm.
minutes to lunch, which was 10 miles maybe. It took 30 minutes.
Wow.
And then, it's like, all right, we're going toward Miami because it's already going to be a long drive to Miami from wherever we're at. And then it was like another hour to get to South Beach in Miami. And then and that was a total of maybe 30 miles or, maybe something like that. I don't know. And then from there, we went from South Beach to, the neighborhood, kind of like on downtown area, from the strip area to kind of take a bridge to get to the main area. And that took another fucking 45 minutes. And it's like, we're traveling like 10 miles here. Like, why the hell does it have to? There's just so many people.
People in Miami must be really patient.
Or they just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Or they have no souls.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like, there's so many cars everywhere. I mean, it wasn't too bad when we were traveling like back in the evenings from things. Like we went to a
Yeah.
hockey game on Thursday. That gets done at like 10:30,
Yeah.
something like that. And then you drive back and it's the same distance, but you get there in like 30 minutes instead of like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour. And it's like,
Yeah.
holy crap, this is like perfect. Just cruise at the
Mhm.
speed limit or above the speed limit by a few miles an hour, and people are always zooming by you.
Yep.
And it's like, you really got to be aware to like, I'm not going to move from this lane because these people are going to zoom around me.
There were some nice cars down there, right? You said there
Oh
were some
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
I didn't really see that many Ferraris, but I did see I probably saw 3 or 4 Lamborghinis, and of course Teslas are always there. Saw some
Yeah.
Aston Martin. I saw like a Lamborghini SUV. It was like kind of like a HRV, like a Honda HRV. You know what I'm talking
Now
about?
I have to look it
Kind of
up.
like a CRV, but the back end is like it's not high and then it comes down like my Rogue. It's kind of slanted down like a sedan.
I'm like, oh shit.
Did you just look up like
I don't like that. That
Lamborghini
looks like a
SUV?
Porsche. Like that's not even a Lamborghini. That's just like
It's
that's
weird because
ugly.
it's still like kind of low, but it's an SUV. I've never even seen one before. But of course it was bright purple.
Of
Um
course.
and yeah, saw some cool cars down there, so that's always
I
fun.
don't like that. It looks cheaper than what like Lamborghinis in my opinion are like they look like they cost a lot of money. I saw a Lamborghini today
And I'm
actually
sure that freaking SUV
on my
probably
way to
costs
work.
more than the car. Like
Yeah, and it's ugly. It's like I mean it's just not like sports car-y.
I think
Ugh.
the color always brings it to the sports car look, but I feel like I only saw the
Yeah.
rear end though. I don't know that I saw what the front looked like, but I assume it like slopes down.
Whoa. I'm gonna share my screen with you really quick. Okay, I'm on the Lamborghini page for pictures, and then I pushed old, and there's a Lamborghini LM002.
I don't see it yet if you're sharing something.
Start sharing.
What do you mean old? Oh,
It looks like a Jeep.
oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that doesn't look like a Lamborghini at all.
No, but I kind of love it. Now I have a new dream car.
A Lamborghini SUV from I don't know 1986.
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't know.
So do you see the newer
Very
ones in there?
rare.
Oh yeah, that one looks kind of like it.
Yeah, there's a few newer ones.
That red one, that looks like what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. And we're not really a car podcast, but here's the thing, me and Ryan both love cars. Um,
Yeah, I
um
just think they're cool
I'm
looking and
gonna
stuff. I don't really know too much about, all the different fanciness under the hood and all that shit, but I know they look cool. Um,
yeah.
yeah, my favorite car as a kid was always like a Dodge Viper for some reason. I think I had the little
Yeah.
like toy cars, and I don't even know if if they
Yeah.
still make those, but probably like a typical like 90s was like the sweet spot when that was like just getting you had like the car posters and stuff.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah.
So,
This weekend we went to like I don't want to say I don't know if it was an impromptu car show, but it was a smaller car show at one of the detailing shop. It's not no, it's not a detailer. They do not originals. They do reproductions of Cobra GTIs. So so everything's like electrical and stuff like that. So but they look old. And there was two no, there's three McLarens. Three
nice.
McLarens, a DeLorean, um which was great.
Nice.
A couple of like classics. And I can't remember.
There was like a shop in Miami that had their doors open, and there was a DeLorean inside the shop. I should have taken a damn picture of it,
It's
but I
fucking
didn't. It was like
dope.
it was like black looking though. It looked like they did something fancy
That's
to it,
cool.
but it looked cool though.
I love DeLoreans. They're so clumsy looking. Oh, they're fabulous. There was a Supra there. There was like a couple. Yeah, there were some great cars. There were some shitty cars that people think are great, but that's fine, whatever.
Where they have like a
And there were some
Mitsubishi
classics.
Eclipse in there from like Fast and
Right?
Furious 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had the new Supra, which I don't think is that cool looking. Like the old Supras are way cooler looking, but like also they're still not that cool. Like the Toyota Supra is like it's like the average man's supercar.
Yeah.
But whatever. My brother has a 70s Toyota Supra, so.
Isn't the Supra? Is that the Fast and Furious? Wasn't there a Supra on that movie, The Fast and Furious? I feel like that was like Jesse's car. No, he drove like
Yeah,
a
there was.
Volkswagen, but there was a Supra.
There was a Supra. Yeah, there was.
I don't remember who
It was
had
that
it, but...
Supra. It was like a replication of that Supra.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that was the
But it was
the
like a
weekend.
beautiful day. Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was like 80. It was like 80 there. Definitely
nice. It
want
was
to
like
go there when
70
it's in the
this weekend
winter.
here.
So yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful when we got back for a day or two.
Yeah, no, it's shitty. That's okay.
Yeah. So I've just been working in the
gas.
studio making new stuff these days. So luckily, yeah, you're
Yeah.
about to say gas. Luckily, we didn't have to drive anywhere. Don't have to necessarily drive anywhere.
I know. I'm not coming down for a while.
No. Oh my gosh,
I was like,
I listen
go
to
on.
these like political podcasts about it's called Breaking Points if anyone wants to listen to it. They're like independent journalists, so it's not like
Yeah.
Fox or CNN or whatever. But yeah, they talk about like impacts of gas and stuff that it could get like $5, $6, like impacts of, making decisions about cutting off like Russia from gas, how it's going to impact like the world market as well as just the US market, even though we don't import, but like 3% of our gas supply from them. It's like kind of interesting how to see how it all fits together and the impacts. But yeah, somebody I work with was like, oh yeah, we were planning on going on a trip for the kids' spring break or something. And they were talking about going to Florida and they were asking about Fort Lauderdale or something. Or maybe she just was in passing mentioning that they were going to go there. And then they were like, and then we were looking at gas prices and we just decided to go somewhere else that's closer and near North Carolina. So they're going somewhere closer. But yeah, I can imagine like a family. I mean, it's like all those miles. I don't even know how much you fill up, but like no more cross country trips in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I got mine out of the way.
Oh man. And Sarah and Marret just left like a week ago, right?
Oh, I know. If you guys want a fun little adventure to see, it's Mobile Makers on Instagram, and it's Sarah Anderson and Marret Metzger. And yeah, they just left probably like last week or the beginning of this week. I don't know. And
Mobile Makers Clay on Instagram.
Mobile Makers Clay. Yeah, and what's really sad is that they've been freaking out about gas prices this whole time anyway because they were towing a trailer and Sarah's car is a gas guzzler anyway. She has a Toyota
Cruiser or something?
Cruiser, yeah. And not PT Cruiser, whatever that big one is. FJ Cruiser, yeah. Yeah, and so she was like, I have a gas guzzler anyway, and
and they're going to the west. So
gas
is already more expensive.
Their gas prices. Yeah, they averaged their gas prices at $3.50, and I was like, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, you need to average it like $5 at least.
Yeah, I do feel bad that they aren't that it's like right in the middle of this.
Yeah,
I'm sure
but
looks like they're having a blast. So
yeah, it looks awesome. I'm seeing like the dunes pictures in New Mexico and pretty cool.
Yeah. And they took Pip, Sarah's dog, who's the cutest. And yeah.
So they're actively sleeping in the camper or in tents everywhere they're
camper.
at? In the camper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. I think they're having a lot of fun. So they're already roommates anyway, so they live with each other, so they can handle that. So
yeah, just a little smaller quarters, and the dog adds a little bit of extra pizzazz
just a
there.
little. Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so should we continue on to our...
Sure. All right.
Right.
We're gonna do a what would you do if? This one should be good.
Yes.
What would you do if you were swarmed by a horde of cats?
It depends on if they were mean cats or friendly cats. I will do both scenarios. If I was swarmed by a horde of mean cats, I'd probably run away, and freak out. But if I was swarmed by a bunch of really nice cats, I'd probably just sit down.
Sit down. What would be a good place to get swarmed by a horde of cats?
In grass.
Grass, that would be good too. Yeah. And then you try to like run away from angry ones, and you're like running into a tree or something, or like jungle gym something. Make it hard for them to run up.
Yeah. What would you do if you were horded?
I was assuming it was friendly cats, but I didn't think about the angry cats. Not all cats are friendly. Yeah, I'd probably book it. I don't know if you'd know that they were angry until they got up to you, but hopefully they would usually they would like put their anger out on each other, right? When they're around each other. They probably tend to fight each other instead of me. Why would they collectively swarm to me?
Yeah. Oh man, angry cats are really not nice. Lloyd and Babs have been fighting recently, and fucking Lloyd, he's such an asshole. Like, Babs is also an asshole, but Lloyd is like one of those cats that he gets on the bed, he sniffs Babs, and he whacks her in the face.
Sniffs her like her face or like her rear end or what?
Yeah, sniffs her face and then just whacks her in the face. But she hisses at him, so it kind of like spurs this thing. Like a lot of the times when he sniffs her, he's like wants to play and is like loving on her, and she still gets fucking pissed at him. She's like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll like hold Marble, and then Autumn will like, if we move Marble kind of by Autumn, she'll like lick her head, and then she'll hiss at her, and it's like, why are you even making contact licking, and then you're gonna get like aggressive? I don't get it.
Yeah, like Lloyd like puts up his paw and he's like,
he's like
really fast. And it's so funny because like I could care less if they're fighting, like unless I'm in between in the middle, I could care less. But like when Jamil is here, he's like, "Hey, stop it!" And he like cares so much, and I'm just like, just let them fight. It's fine.
He's like, "Hey, you all cut that out, quit it."
And he like protects Babs. Like Babs can literally do nothing wrong.
It's like Autumn.
Yes.
Except Autumn like does dumb shit, and then it's like she doesn't even know when it's like dumb. Marble's just like aggressive.
Babs is like the perfect child.
Yes. And if it was friendly cats, I would definitely just lay there like a starfish.
Starfish
in grass.
Will you do that face? Will you do that again?
Like a starfish?
Okay, I took a picture. I'm gonna post it on our Instagram.
With arms wide open?
Arms wide open. I don't actually know that.
That's not how it goes.
I know, but I can't remember how it goes. So I just made it up. Anyway, moving on. we're gonna do like a short-ish episode today, hopefully. We're already 25 minutes in, so we're gonna shoot for an hour.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and we got a question from Aleatha Bean, our VIL, very important listener, or VLP. No. VIL.
MVL?
MVL.
Most valuable listeners?
No, VIL. Very important listener.
Okay. I thought you already said that.
I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Here's her question. So she says, some backstory. I'm doing an update. I'm posting like crazy. I set a timer and it's been stated that they'll all be ready with lots of pictures at XYZ time. But I'm getting a bunch of messages from people who want to know more about specific pieces before they're actually available. I'm so grateful for the interest, but it's the type of stuff that will be in the listings descriptions at XYZ time. Is it dishwasher safe? How big is it? Can I get more pictures? What kind of stuff? If I answer every request for info, I'd be taking hours and hours to send pictures and measurements and DMs. What do you do? How do you respond? And how do you feel when people want the personal shopping experience?
Oh, Becca.
P.S. Because while I'm reading
I can just see you answering
knows
this. You'd be like, I'm not going to answer shit.
P.S. I'm shy. I'm shy to ask this because I feel like a whiny, ungrateful asshole. LOL. You're not. First of all, let's get that out of the way. You're not a whiny, ungrateful asshole because people shouldn't be doing what they're doing because they should be reading what you're saying instead of being like, I'm the exception. Tell me all these things. No, bitch.
Have you had that situation happen? Where you're like prepping for stuff and people ask for details? I mean, you've kind of set that boundary though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I set a real hard boundary. Like, I think that people would feel like a super dick asking me, like, oh, what is this and this? And I always respond with, it'll be ready here at this time. Good luck.
So I'm reading at the beginning of it. So it says already with lots of pictures at XYZ time. I don't know if that means everything is live to purchase at that time. I'm guessing that's what she means. Like, you can get all the details you want when they go live. And people just want to know the specifics before. It sounds like people kind of want like a preview.
Preview, yeah.
The overkill to me is the whole, the measurements and shit. Like, maybe giving just general estimates about like all of my mugs hold between 10 and 12 ounces. And here's what they look like. I don't know. I kind of didn't mind like an informal like preview on stories, but that does take a lot of time too. I think that might curtails avoid some of those questions, but
so I just did an update.
Cup date.
Pot drop.
A pot drop.
A pot drop, a cup date. I just did one last Friday, Saturday, on Saturday.
A fancy cup
and
date.
A fancy cup, a fuck date. Sorry. A fact date.
A fup date.
A fup date? A fup date. Anyway.
Fan update. A fan
update. A fan update. A fan update.
Fan update.
Anyway. So I just did one and I know exactly what she's talking about because I think the first time I ever did an update, I was like, oh shit, I have to preview everything. Because like the people that have their shit together, like the ones that have been doing like updates forever, like they put it on their website. So beforehand, and I had like a shitty ass website and you couldn't so there's a couple ways you can do this. to prevent all these people from being like this, either you can say tough shit, they're going to be available now, or you can do the pictures and everything like a day before
Mm-hmm.
the update and just say, hey, you have to wait for it till this time, and just have that be a response, that you have. I know that a lot of people have, like, Isaac Shu will put his all on the website and have them be sold out, quote unquote. So like no stock. And then when like 20 minutes before the update, he will go in and take everything off the website, and convert it to one, stock. And so it actually, so they're available. That's I think that's a really good way to do it.
Hopefully it doesn't take a ton of your time to make that happen, though. I just did look. Right. Aleatha has a Etsy shop, by the way, so that preview option is not an option on Etsy.
You can't do a preview option on Etsy?
No.
Well, fuck you, Etsy. Okay, then the other option is this. Pictures. So I don't know what she does as far as numbers are concerned, or like how she categorizes things, but I always put numbers on all of my pieces that I'm selling online. That way I can pack them easily. And it's just like really simple to put them up and to, everything like that. So like what I did was I just took a picture of everything beforehand and just put it on my stories and was like, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, somebody before the update was like, hey, can you, the one that's on the right that has the polka dots that's like this and this and this, and like, could you tell me which number that's gonna be? And I was like, no, I can't, I don't know. And then I was like, here's a picture of all of them with numbers on them, and then they found it. They
do the job. They do the work instead of you cherry picking items and showing in.
Yeah. And I would say, I mean, if they are so concerned about the size and all the things, then
do you think that's just a matter of they're used to some shops selling out and they have to get it immediately and they have to know all those details? Or do you think they're doing it because they want the attention of that all those details? Because that's what kind of shopper they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that in this world of updates you can be that picky. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little counterintuitive for business sense to say this, but if you honestly don't sell out, like, I think it's totally fine to tell people, I'm not going to sell out immediately. You have time.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to get there when it goes live. Spend your time looking at what you want. Maybe get an idea of what you want beforehand. But, like, if you see it and it matches what you want, get it. Or if you have any, like, groundbreaking questions that is definitely going to affect your purchasing that is not answered in the description of the piece that you're looking at, then let me know. But I do my best to provide as much detail as I can, which should include, like, capacity, fluid ounces or milliliters or whatever you measure in, the dimensions, if that matters to you. Honestly, I was doing dimension. I mean, I do dimensions for like the size of the box, but like it's overkill for me to put dimensions of mugs and stuff. It's really just, showing my hand in a photo to show how big it is in relation to my hand. So you can see how many fingers the handle is. I think that's important.
I started doing that too.
That's usually my first picture now. So you can see how big, but you also don't know the size of my hands. So, but you kind of get an idea.
You can have Isaac hands.
Yeah. Because some people are like, this mug is ginormous. But I mean, that's where the fluid ounces should factor in.
Yeah.
So I think those are the most important parts. And then obviously the colors and stuff, and dishwasher safe, microwave safe. Like, you could just easily mention that in just a story and just say, hey, everything's going to go live. the day before and just say, like, just a reminder, everything is dishwasher microwave safe. The things that are not microwave safe have gold on them, or, whatever
Yeah.
gold is not microwave safe. So, I encourage you to hand wash if you're careful, but you can also dishwash if you don't want to go through that trouble, that kind of stuff. But that should also be in the box and whatnot when you send it out, if it's important to you to include those details. But
Yeah. I think the only reasonable question, honestly, in my opinion, the only reasonable question before an update is how much should I budget for a cup? That's the only reasonable question because that's not usually available. If
yeah,
nobody's ever bought anything from you, like somebody saying, "Hey, how much are the mugs?" $100 or $75 or whatever. That's a reasonable question. That's easy to answer. But I think all of the other questions are can be they have to wait, you know. And if you're
yeah,
that fucking picky, if you're that picky, then you have to read the description and suffer the consequences if it
go
gets
through
sold
those
out from under
details.
you.
Yeah.
So Aleatha, that's how I feel. Um, in
Yeah, I
response
mean,
to how do you
I think
feel?
you realistically have to put some of that burden on the customer, that if they're gonna have to meet you more than halfway if they want all
Yeah.
those details. They can't expect you to spend. I mean, at a minimum, it'll take you. It might take you 5 or 10 minutes to get all the details, because, like, you're doing something, right? You're in the studio, you're prepping something, or you're eating your morning breakfast and you're seeing messages come through, and then you're like, oh, somebody wants to know
Yeah.
about this mug that's going to be in the update. I got to go down to the studio, find that mug in the batch of 50 pieces, let's say. You got to get the dimensions or get whatever they're asking for. If it's like fluid ounces, you got to pour water in, you got to measure it, you got to do
Yeah.
whatever. That's going to take at least 5 minutes to do that. And
Or you
imagine
could
getting,
be like
like,
me and say they could be 12 to 14 ounces. We don't know.
I mean,
Um,
that's honestly good enough, and they probably be fine with that answer. And
I still have
over
never.
time, you probably know. Like, I stopped measuring fluid ounces on mugs because I've done so many that I'm like,
Yeah.
these hold about 12 ounces.
I have never measured the tiny cups that I do, the mini cups.
But all you'd have to do is measure it once, and you're like, I know how much clay I use. They're always about the same size, so they always
I
hold 4
know.
ounces.
I think they're 6 ounces, but they could be 4. I don't know. Like,
Just do it once.
like,
Like,
yeah, but then I lied on all the things and I'd rather be ignorant. Anyway,
that's like saying your stuff is food safe when you haven't tested it. No, it's not that bad.
no, it's definitely not that bad. I do think that the way that you respond is important, you know. Um, I think
Yeah,
a
don't give
quick
them a reason
just
to not buy from you. Don't do that.
yeah, yeah, you can either wait to respond until your sale goes live or whenever the pictures are up and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was so busy doing the work."
I was so busy getting
Here's
ready
a
for my
link.
update that my priority was
Yeah.
on getting everything ready
Yeah.
rather than responding to
It's live.
individuals.
Here's the location. Yeah. Or you can just politely say, all the information will be available when the update goes or at this time, And also, I think that it's important to maybe, if you are getting people like this, maybe just do a quick story before you even get through the process and just be like, hey, I've gotten a lot of questions in the past. All your questions will be answered at this time when this part
Yeah.
goes live. Like you can do a quick story like that and then hopefully they read that,
I like doing that in
even though we
text,
know they
honestly.
won't.
That way it's like it's easy to consume. If somebody actually wants those details, they don't have to, like, listen to it. They can just see
Yes,
all the
yes, yes.
details written down. So, like,
Yep.
got some questions about my update. Here's some things to expect. There's going to be this item, this item, this item, this item in this sale, like what bottles, mugs, whatever. These type of mugs are going to be my mugs range from $40 to $70. Like, maybe
Yeah.
that's good enough, or maybe you show a sample of one and say these are about $45.
Yeah. Maybe like a what to expect
Yeah.
story.
I don't know. Some of
Like
those
just
shops that
with
do
text.
restocks all the time, it's like there's a reason they put all those like FAQs. Like there's a reason Pitch Pine has to have an FAQ section because they're trying to deter all the questions that they don't want to fucking answer because they get asked them all the time.
Seriously.
So it's like I get
couldn't
it.
handle that.
They're saving their time but it's like
100%.
it's only as good as people that go read them because you spent the time to put them together. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done the Instagram story previews like the day before. That's usually what I would typically do.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that for like every single piece. I started doing like if I'm putting up 15 or 20 pieces, I'll put like 2 pieces in a story at a time so that it's not like 20 stories, it's like 10 stories. So if it's like mugs, I'll put different color mugs in there so you can obviously tell like the differences, and you can see a couple, you get 15 seconds to show 2 things. That's not really outrageous. You don't have to show every single detail of the piece.
Yeah.
And just kind of like high level, here's what it is. In the past, I've done like, putting item numbers. I feel like that was overkill for me. I didn't have people buying enough of my stuff so quickly that it was unique enough that I needed to put item numbers on them. Like yours are like very unique one to the next. So at least the fancy cups are. So you kind of need the numbers, and it's
And then
probably
there's
easier for you
some
packing too.
Yeah, and then there's some that like are kind of the same, and then it just makes it a little easier. And like I end up putting the sticker on the bottom, and when I send it to them, it's kind of like a reassurance, like you got this one, like here, hooray, you got it.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, should I tell? Do you want to know how much I made?
Yeah, I want to hear that. How many did you post, I guess, to start?
Good question. I posted 38 pieces. I posted 20 big ones and 18 small ones.
Nice.
I'm just.
And when you say big, for anybody listening, when you say big, you're talking like 12 ounce.
12 to 14 ounces. That's what we think at least.
And then they're kind of like minis. I would call them like minis, kind of. Otherwise,
yeah,
like small minis.
I call them mini.
They're like
mini
6
fancy
ounce.
Cups. The MFC, the mini fancy cup.
The motherfucking cup.
Fuck. Oh my god.
The mini fancy cup, also known as motherfucking cup.
The motherfucking cup. Anyway, moving on. So I sold 15 of the small ones and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
15 of the 18? Damn.
15 of the MFCs.
Nice.
Yeah, of the 18.
That's pretty good.
And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left.
That's as of a week and 2 days ago, or 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 days from release.
No, it was this Saturday. No, it was this Saturday.
Oh, okay. I was thinking March 1st. It was
March 5th.
5th, okay. So just a few days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
how many big ones did you say?
And then I sold 12 of the big ones, I believe.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
12 and how many?
12 and 15. So it came out to $21.64 was what I made. I think that's with taxes and shit like that.
70% of the stock. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. And
a little over 2,000. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Which was great because I had a credit card that I had to pay off because of all the traveling I did, and it was like $2,800, which was a lot. Is a lot for me. I don't know what everybody else's credit cards look like,
and
but
that's
mine
because
usually...
you're not carrying over balances, is why, right? You're not carrying balances month to month. You're paying it off, but $2,800 a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot for one person.
That's a lot. And so that was just like driving and the gas and all those stuff. So I really needed at least $2,000 so I could pay that off because it was due on the 8th.
Nice. So you paid
So
paid that bad boy off yesterday, huh?
yeah, I did. I paid it off. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, now I'm credit card free. Well, for the most part. I had a little extra and I was like, oh, I just won't pay it all off. I'll just keep that. I'll just wait.
You're just like
Wait to
weaning
pay off
yourself
the
off a little bit.
$300.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was really excited about that. And
Nice.
most of it happened, I think I had made $1,600 the night of, and it was 7 p.m. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So did you
Yeah.
anticipate that? I mean, you always say have low expectations for the customers, but do you tend to have low expectations on your side
do.
too? Or do you okay.
I anticipated at least $1,500,
Okay.
but I think that mostly because I think the MFCs, the mini fancy cups, the motherfucking fancy cups, the MFCs are the right price. I think I need to make way more of those.
Yeah, what are they priced at?
They're 50.
Okay. And
And
your
the big
big ones
are
are
100.
yeah. 50 is
100.
way more attainable.
And really, yeah, and really they're so cute.
And they're
like,
small, they're
they're
like small
yeah,
and they're soft and they're like
real cute.
I mean, they're real
Like,
small, but you can use them like by your sink. You can use them for a little bit of like liquor or whatever. I mean, I'm sure you got a number of things that you were talking
exactly.
about, but you know, you're
Yeah.
not going to drink like a bunch of iced tea out of it or something, but you know, it's got
No.
some different uses that you're going to use it for a special occasion, which is kind of the idea.
Yeah, like yeah, and like you could still like if somebody drank less, like not everybody drinks a ton of wine. But like if somebody drinks like a little bit of wine or just wants a little nightcap, like it'd be perfect for that. A whiskey
Right.
sipper, it'd be perfect for that. So anyway, yeah, I was really happy with those. And everything in this update was like not my normal style because I was going through like a hardcore depressive state. And so
And you were like rushed. I mean, you were down down in the last days of it, you know?
Yeah, I definitely do not plan updates for this very reason. But yeah, so there's still some up there and they're all kind of they're not sloppy, but they are like they're pretty sloppy. In a good way. They're very like loose. I should have used loose the first time. They're loose. And yeah. So anyway, yes. What? What?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. What the fuck?
My audio's messed up on Skype. Hold on. This damn thing. Oh.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
My audio's messed up. Hold on.
What happened? Just exit Skype.
Sorry. Okay. Can you hear me? Can I hear you again?
Yeah.
All right.
What the fuck happened, man?
My Skype keeps prompting me for some shit, and I don't know why. All right. I missed whatever you said after. I don't know.
I can't even remember.
We ended with like you need to make a lot more of them, and I don't know if you continued on with why you need to make more of them or what, but
whatever.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I noted it so that we can cut that out so people don't have to deal with you saying my audio. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I learned anything from this past update about.
Was the work that you put in easier?
I think so.
Do you think it's
Was it worth the
was
money?
it worth?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you
Because
have
I'm
priced
not
them
going
the
into the
same if you
studio
would
every
have?
day.
Yeah. If you would have made the smaller ones, would they have been priced the exact same if you would have did your fancy designs on them, or would they have been more expensive?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, they still take time. Everything
Yeah.
still takes time. So it's
But is it like 10% less time? Is it like 20% less time? Like efficiency
I
wise, you
don't.
probably were more efficient with these. Just looking at like
Yeah.
small, if you made the designs the exact same for the small versus like the fancy small, that's like some of the more
I feel
graphical.
like this. Yeah. I feel like the small ones, like the ones I did with like the squares and stuff, I don't think those would sell first. And I'm not sure. I can't say that for sure. But I'm not going to do something super, super technical on the small ones.
It's just not enough canvas, right? And it
Right.
doesn't have enough space to like breathe and to like get the whole
Mm-hmm.
look of the design, right?
Yeah, but I really enjoyed doing the gradients, and I think that that would be fun to kind of like, um, I think that people kind of know me for my gradients anyway, but it
Mhm.
would be cool to kind of like explore that a little bit more and see how that goes. Um, there were some cups that were just all gradients, and they sold out faster than any of the other cups. So,
By
um,
gradients, you're talking about the newer design ones that were, I called it like a
mhm.
splotchy gradient kind of,
Yeah. It's like
but it goes
a
all the way
loose,
around the cup. It's not
yeah,
on a certain like graphical
right.
geometric section.
Yeah, but it would be cool to do that kind of thing and then take tape off, and see if I can do like fun little things with that.
Oh, like use the
Yeah.
negative space to be just
Mhm.
like, oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes,
Oh,
and
that's
yeah, we'll
cool.
see.
Because you got like thin
Yeah.
tape and stuff. Like that's what you're using for some of your designs, right? So you just,
Yeah.
oh, okay. That's sweet. What about the dot
Yeah.
ones? I feel like the dot ones are those pretty popular? I feel like you're kind of
The
figuring
dot
out what
ones,
color scheme works for the
yeah, the
dots.
color dot ones were really popular. The non-color dot ones were not popular.
The monochrome,
So,
like the gray, black, white.
yeah. Yeah, and I thought
Okay.
those would be popular, but apparently they're not.
Hmm.
So that's fine.
Hmm.
Totally fine.
Are there certain like color
Um,
schemes where you'd be like, okay, these are my color dots, but they're like warm tones, and then this is like
yeah, we'll see.
purple, blue, green. So it's like kind of a certain
Yeah,
cool.
I think what's important to find, like important to do in the color dots is to always have at least one color that's really bold. Like, because I
Oh,
did the like lighter colors and they didn't do as well. The more
okay.
pastel colors, you always need one color that just pops out so that it makes it look like there's contrast.
Hmm.
But also, this was fun. I tried this time and it worked, and I'm really happy about it. So I normally would make them, bisque them, sand them, paint them, and then sand them around the design after glaze.
Afterglaze. Okay.
So fire to cone 5, sand them around the design after glaze. What I did this time was I bisqued them and I sanded them. What did I do?
Because you normally put the color on after they're bisqued. So,
Yeah, so I bisqued them, I sanded them, and then I fired them completely blank. And then I
to cone 5.
bisqued, yes, to
Hmm.
cone 5. And then I sanded them, and then I put stroke and coats on them, and then I bisqued them again. And
Oh.
they were super fucking smooth after I took them out of the bisque, which has never happened before. Like the dot ones especially, they were rough under the dots.
Oh. So the stroking,
So
because the
now
stroking coats
it's
have a range, right? Like they have like a
yeah,
loaf of bisque range all the way up to cone 5
yeah.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And technically, really technically, I could probably once fire them, sand them all down, paint them, and then bisque them.
Yeah, like the process of loading them into a bisque, taking them out, sanding them, and then loading them back in is overkill.
Mm-hmm. Potentially. We'll have
Yeah,
to see, but it was good for
because
it
they're
was
thin
good.
anyway, so you just take it slower and just go all the way up to cone
Yeah.
5 and go
Yeah,
slow
you
through
can
the
just
bisque
bisque.
temperature.
You can literally bisque to cone 5.
Yeah,
It would be fine.
and then you take it out,
Um,
sand it. Do you have to do a lot of cleaning and whatnot after they're sanded? You probably do, right? Or do you
I
just
just
submerge
dunk
them
them
in
in
water?
water.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good it was a good experiment to do. It was kind of like last minute and I shouldn't have been doing it last minute, but I did it anyway and I'm glad that I did.
And were the gradients,
So,
that's underglaze, right? So that's still
yeah.
underglaze on bisque?
I think they would look good with a shiny on top, but that kind of like defeats the whole point of like how they feel. They feel
But you
cool.
put some dots on them, right? Were those stroke and coat
Mhm.
dots? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Nice. Yeah, I did that small little pre-sale update thing, the this or that thing.
mhm.
Um, trying to see where we're at on time. We're at 57. Um, so that was kind of an experiment to, for people that don't know, it was kind of a trial of saying, I have these two glaze combos. Vote on your favorite in
Yeah.
a Google form that I linked to for about 3 or 4 days. Go vote on your favorite. The winner is going to be chosen to have kind of a pre-sale, but basically bisque items will get that glaze, and then I'll put a bunch of them up. Um, and they'll basically be ready to order when the winner is announced. So it's about a week between when I first had voting start and then closed voting 2 or 3 days before I announced it, and then a winner announced, and then the mugs were available immediately. I did not
Mhm.
sell. I sold like 2 of them. I don't understand why. And I was getting ahead of myself. I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get so many people that like." Because I did the voting on Wednesday. I got a bunch of votes. Closed on Saturday. I got like 110 votes over the whole time. Into that vote of just the just asking for your favorite. I said if you want to get
Mhm.
a mailing list to get first dibs, because I did tell the mailing list first. They could put their email in there. So it was kind of a way to generate mailing list people,
Mhm.
well as just get a consistency of, I announced my mailing list, hey, I'm doing this thing, go vote. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And then I told social media, hey, I'm doing this thing, go vote. And then on Tuesday morning at like 9 a.m., I announced it to the mailing list. I think I got 2 orders that morning. And then I announced it on social media later that day
Mhm.
at like 6 p.m. of like, hey, the winner's announced. Go here to buy it if you want. It'll ship about 7 days later because I was going on my trip. So I didn't want to promise that I was going to ship stuff when I was going to be gone. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I ended up unloading the pieces on Tuesday because I was getting them ready and wanted to make sure like I didn't screw myself, like some catastrophic happened when I got them out of the kiln or something, and I promised people that they'd be available, and I'd screw myself basically. Because I was like all of my white mugs that are like that design. Um, so now I've got like 16 mugs that are glazed in that design that I've like got sitting around. So I don't know what the fuck happened. I think I have a couple suspicions, but I don't know. You kind of saw what went into it, right? You kind of understand like
Yeah.
the gist. Do you have any speculation? I have a couple, but
No.
I'm curious what you think. No,
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like,
I don't know if
uh,
it's the delay or. Go ahead. What do you think?
It's not the shipping delay.
No, I think it's the delay between like voting on something and then it actually being live and like the time of the week when it was set live. Like I think people were more excited about it over the weekend. Like leading into the weekend, if I made them live like on the weekend, that might have generated better sales than on a Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I set them live on March 1st.
Yeah.
Because it was like, hey, this is this release for March, and then I'm gonna try to do it every now and then, but it's gonna be like the beginning of a month. So you saw which one?
Yeah.
Won, right?
Yeah, the beach one.
The beachy one, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was between like a beachy one that was like brand new. I'd never used that glaze combo before. And then the other one is a blue and white one, which I use with shot glasses, but I haven't done in mugs. I sold like a couple in the winter.
Yeah.
So my suspicion, sort of, I don't know if it has much weight, but it's just my suspicion, was for one, the timing of like it went live, voting closed Saturday. And then, people might have voted Wednesday, and then they found out it went live on Tuesday. I don't know if people set their calendars. I don't even think I put a countdown on my Instagram or whatever. My black and white one got some good traction on Reels, so a lot of people saw that one. But my suspicion was the timing of when everything happened was right when the invasion of Ukraine happened, which matched with the Ukraine flag of the blue and the yellow. So there was some like fundraising happening and some potters doing things with Ukraine around that time. And I suspect that there was a association of my glaze combo being related to the Ukraine flag. And that maybe when it went live, it seemed like I was like completely leaving out that it was anyway associated with that. But it wasn't.
Did not see.
Maybe I'm just digging deep on here. I don't know.
I think you're digging too deep. But I do think that you hit on something. I do think that it was right when Russia invaded Ukraine and people were not thinking about buying pots right then.
Yeah. Because I started the voting like the week of that. So it was Wednesday. No, yeah, it was the Wednesday before. And then I think the invasion happened on Thursday or Friday. So like some shit was going down, and then the weekend, and there was it was everywhere. And then I think that not necessarily like, I think you're just hitting on like, hey, there were other things happening and people were diverting money other places. Where it was like, I kind of held myself to this schedule, but like shit happened. But also like somebody commented on my post that just had some flags, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even associate it with that at all until you just commented that. But it was like, and then somebody else commented like innocently, like one of my returning customers that was like, hey, I saw this for some reason. I thought it was a fundraising post because I've seen a bunch of these different people doing fundraisers for Ukraine, and I was confused. And I commented back. I was like, honestly, I did not associate that until I saw a comment about that. And then I was like, maybe, I was like, yeah, I didn't even think of that. And that was honestly part of the reason maybe that I was underwhelmed with sales, but
yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even see. I didn't even.
But do you see that?
I mean, I did. Yeah, I see it now.
When you look at it, you're like, okay, I see it.
Yeah, I see it now. I just like. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that brings up a like more generally than my specific situation. I think it brings up a good point about like as things shift like globally with some of these things, like it could impact people's a bit, like even just we were talking about gas prices at the beginning, like that's going to affect people's ability to spend money and have discretionary money to just spend on like luxury things like pottery that I think we need to consider as we go forward, because not to say like you shouldn't be making things because people won't have money to spend on them, but like maybe set your expectations a little bit.
Yeah, like appropriately.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But I think it was definitely interesting. It's not like I can't use the mugs at all, but
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll figure that out.
Personally, I would never buy that color combination. Like unless it was for Ukraine. Like
Do
yellow
you
and
see
blue
why
is
it
like
got the most votes? Like I think it's
uh,
because it looks like a beach with
a
water
beach.
and like
Yeah.
sand
Yeah.
in
I
the
personally think that yellow and blue together are gross. But that's me. Um
Yeah.
Yep. Unless there's green involved, I'm
I
out.
don't I don't know. I'm like,
Like,
and then I'm thinking like, okay, that one won. Like, what do I want to do with it? Like, do I keep, what do I do going forward with it? Do I keep the one that lost in here for the next month or the next time I do it and then enter in another color? Or do I just pick two colors that I think would be cool?
yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, just because people vote for one that they like better doesn't mean you're going to get sales, like,
Right.
associated with it. But that's kind of like
Yeah.
Instagram, right? Just because people like a lot of a photo doesn't mean that
Totally.
it's going to generate sales. So I don't know. And I didn't
Oh,
pay attention
conundrums.
to like the preview stuff like Aletha's talking about. I didn't put almost, I kind of led up to it, but I kept it kind of secretive of like, I'm not going to tell you who
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but it's like all the mugs are going to be about the same size. Um,
Yeah. Maybe it's because you didn't make a big deal about it, like at all.
yeah, I made a deal about it for like a week.
Yeah.
It's like, I got this idea in my mind, telling you all about this idea on Wednesday. Go vote now. It's a brand new thing I'm
Yeah.
trying. Try it out.
That didn't work.
And then I got like 30 or 35 people join my mailing list, so I think that was a positive.
Yeah.
And it kind of got me over that hurdle of not wanting to send to my mailing list. Like I can come up with a email for them. I
Yeah.
did 2 emails and I don't think I've even done an email since this year started. It's already March. So, you know,
Oof.
getting a couple in the works and I'm like, maybe this is a good way to just try something out. Like I thought it was good marketing the way I did the emailing of it, but yeah, I don't know that the hype was there.
Yeah.
But hey, we learn, figure out what works, what doesn't.
If you can't fail, you can't learn.
So I
Yep.
am trying to figure out like I am discovering like some new colors, which I think is good because I kind of get static with some of my color combos and like just stick to the
Yeah.
ones that I know are going to sell. But I kind of do want to introduce some new combos just for shows and just get some feedback and see what works and what doesn't.
You should get a purple.
Purple. Oh man, Baker Hunt has this new like matte purple. It's called Amethyst. It's pretty cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I kind of got this one glaze combo with the Joe's Green and the Inferno Red that kind of makes it look like a shimmery. It's got
Mm-hmm.
like hints of purple like underlying, but it's not like purple. But
Yeah.
um, yeah,
A
I don't
matte
know that.
purple would be dope.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Yeah, that would be nice. I bet that would look really good on the speckled clay.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
mean, I'm not going to be making a new glaze combo for it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do some experiments. I have so many glazes that I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll dig into that
Yeah.
John Britt book and look up a purple. There are some good ones in there.
Yeah.
You had like a purple cranberry kind of, didn't you?
Yeah, that was uh June Perry. June Perry purple.
Oh, okay.
And but I think if you added more, I really do think that if you had increased the cobalt or decreased the tin, that you would really get a purple, and maybe took out the chrome. So there's a tiny touch of chrome, and then there's tin, which is probably like 40. No, it's probably like 75% to a maybe 25% cobalt. And if you up the cobalt, decrease the tin, and took out the chrome, I think that it would be more of a purple. I could be wrong. But that's my, like, when I approach glazing, I approached glazing like an artist. And I just like
little less of this, a little more of that.
Yeah, and I just like figured out what the oxides colors are, and then I was like, okay.
You kind of do it like paint a little bit.
Like if I use yellow iron oxide and a little bit of cobalt, I'll get like a mossy green. And I did.
And you can get green with a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to use chrome. Chrome's a gross green.
Or copper carbonate. I mean, copper carb is a big green.
Copper carbonate is like this blue. It's like it's like a sea blue.
Yeah.
That's the one that people have a really hard time not getting to craze, which I had no problem at all because I'm a whiz. I'm a whiz with good luck.
Whiz kid.
I'm a glaze whiz. No, it's just that somebody shined down on me and was like, "Here, this will be easy for you."
You see,
because
some
we
of these
know
people
everything else will be hard.
that are doing those. I see a couple people doing these glaze classes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're making like hundreds of test tiles, and I'm like,
yeah, fuck that shit.
I mean, if I was going the route that you're going with the red, I would figure out I would do kind of like a line blend a little bit of like, 100 grams of a batch and mix it 5 times and then do like different percentages and just try it out. I think that's the extent I would go. I wouldn't go much deeper than a already established recipe and just adjusting the colorants.
Yeah. Oof. I actually have a glaze book that I think has a matte purple in it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Some good shit in there.
Nice.
Not John Brett's glaze book.
It's like need to mix up that
with
damn
like
white.
Really
that white that you have, or that I did screenshot it from Isaac when he shared it, or you when you shared it. I still need to try it.
I shared it.
You shared it, yeah.
I shared it because Isaac told me not to, so I did.
Not keeping it too close to the vest.
No.
Sharing is caring.
Don't share my glaze. That's my glaze. I'm like, that's not your glaze. That's the internet's glaze.
You're like, I sent you that glaze, and I got it from the internet.
Yeah, exactly. I literally just did a Google search and I was like, white shiny glaze. And it was like just a random ass forum with a glaze recipe. And it turned out great. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it's not really that complex to get a white, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that's a fucking solid white.
Love it.
It's a solid fucking white.
I need to try that out and see.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we should go.
Anything else? Aleatha, thank you for the question, as always.
As always, we completely disregarded the question halfway through the episode and talked about whatever we wanted. But you know what? That's what you're here for. So
hey, we wrapped it back to the previews, the updates. These updates are recent to us. Like, we had some things go on.
That's true. That's true. Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks everybody for listening. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Did you take a time period thing of when that shit show happened with the...
With what?
Did you take a time snapshot of when the audio issues happened?
I clicked my tongue, so I will know where it is in the timeline because it has a high spike in my audio.
30.
It's at
kind of scrolling back to see if I can see it.
It's 49, around 49 minutes.
49 minutes. Okay. I was trying to see if there's a lull. Okay. Yeah, there's a big. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh man.